Welcome. Today, we're jumping into the crazy, demanding world of hospitality to figure out what really makes a restaurant tick. We're going to borrow some wisdom from expert Maurice, who sees it as crafting the perfect recipe, a recipe with 7 absolutely essential ingredients. So let's just get right to it. What is the secret? What's that magic formula that makes a place unforgettable? Is it just one amazing dish? The location? The fancy decor? It's the question every single person who dreams of opening a restaurant asks themselves. And here's the thing, right off the bat, of course, the food has to be fantastic. That's a given, but that's not the whole story, not even close. Real lasting success is built on something that goes way beyond the kitchen doors. That's it, right there. Just like a famous signature dish, a restaurant that truly thrives is built from a very specific and proven recipe. So let's get into it. Let's break down the 7 key ingredients that can make or break an establishment. Okay, first things first, we're going to start with the base of our recipe. Think of these as the core flavors, the elements that give your restaurant's entire character and strength. Get these wrong and, well, the whole dish kind of falls apart. So, ingredient number 1 is a strong culture. And listen, this isn't about some cheesy mission statement you hang on the wall. This is the real, invisible force that gets your kitchen crew and your front of house staff all on the same page, working like one single unit. It's the backbone. And why is this so critical? Because a team that's truly aligned, that feeling, it translates directly to the customer's experience. You can just feel it when you walk in. So how do you build it? You use powerful symbols that show what you're all about. And you hire people who are already natural ambassadors for your brand. And this is a perfect example. This beautiful coffee pot. It's not just a tool to pour coffee. No way. It's a symbol. It tells you everything you need to know about that restaurant's commitment to luxury, to sharing, to taking care of the small details. That's culture in action. All right, on to our next ingredient, calculated risks. Let's be real. The restaurant industry is tough. It's brutal. And sometimes the biggest wins, the real breakthroughs, come from making those bold moves that other people are just too scared to try. But here's the key. Taking a risk doesn't mean you're being reckless. It means you're acting with passion, but you're also smart about it. You always have a plan B. That could mean having a network of mentors to call on or a rock-solid financial plan to back you up with investors. Now, for our third foundational ingredient, and this one might sound a little strange, structured creativity. The big idea here is that true game-changing innovation doesn't usually come from some random bolt of lightning. It's actually a disciplined, thoughtful process that involves the entire team. And look at this. This is the perfect result of that process. This incredible, shareable chicken dish. It wasn't just a whim. It was a carefully designed experience. The team thought about conviviality, about visual drama, about creating a moment. And boom, it became their signature. That's what structured creativity can do. Okay, so we have our flavor base. Now it's time to talk about the absolute heart of the dish, the people. Because honestly, a restaurant without an amazing team is just a room with tables and chairs. Which brings us to this crucial ingredient. You have to invest in your team. When you pour time, training, and trust into your staff, you're doing so much more than just teaching them skills. You're building loyalty. You're building confidence. And that creates the kind of service that people remember. And the recipe for this is pretty straightforward. First, you have to offer deep, meaningful training. Then, you have to trust them, empower them to make decisions. And finally, whenever you can, promote from within. There's this great story about a waiter who just got the restaurant's values, and they promoted him all the way to general manager, and he totally crushed it. All right, our 5th ingredient is one that so many leaders just completely miss. Humility. It's really just the ability to say, you know what, I messed up. And it's not a weakness, it's an absolute superpower. It builds incredible trust and makes your team feel safe enough to solve problems without fear. Just think about this story for a second. Instead of trying to hide a mistake, this leader stood up in front of everyone and owned it. That one single act of humility probably did more to strengthen that team than a dozen corporate retreats. It let everyone hit the reset button and move forward together. So powerful. Okay, we've got our base, we've got the heart. Now it's time for the finishing touches. These are the elements that make sure your restaurant doesn't just open successfully, but that it actually grows and stays exciting for years to come. So ingredient number 6 is a really tricky balancing act. It's innovation. How do you evolve? How do you try new things and attract new customers,
without accidentally alienating the loyal regulars who are the lifeblood of your business.
Well, the trick is to be really smart and strategic about it. For instance, maybe you open a more casual spot right next door. You could offer simpler, adapted versions of your main restaurant's most popular dishes. That way, you get a new crowd, but you also make your loyal regulars feel like they're in on the secret. It's brilliant. And that brings us to our seventh and final ingredient, strategic partnerships. Look, no restaurant is an island. When you collaborate with the right people, whether it's artists, designers, local suppliers, other chefs, it can be a massive force multiplier for your creativity and your credibility. So there we are. We've gathered all 7 ingredients. They're all prepped and ready to go. Now, for the best part, putting it all together and plating our signature dish for success. Let's just run through them one last time. You need a strong culture as your backbone, calculated risks to push you into new territory, structured creativity to make you stand out. You have to invest in your team. That's your future. Leadership humility builds unbreakable trust. Balanced innovation keeps you fresh, and strategic partnerships make you stronger. You need every single one. So these are the proven ingredients that the best in the business are using every single day. You have the list. The only question left is, how are you going to combine them to create your own masterpiece? Thanks so much for joining us.